In the small schools, girls played on equal terms with boys. But when it came to the big schools, girls weren't so lucky. For decades, young women in urban areas had watched with envy as their small-town counterparts were literally having a ball. Title IX would change that.
Through the late 60s and early 70s, when the six-girl game was at its zenith of popularity in Iowa, you could begin to see in the large schools the girls were demanding the opportunity to play because they had seen these games at Vets Auditorium and they had seen how much fun the small town girls were getting to have, and they weren't getting to do any of this in the large schools, and they were just furious about it, of course, and they really felt denied.
In 1972, Congress passed Title IX, legislation that required equal treatment for women and men in schools. It took a while for the ruling to be applied to sports, but finally, in 1975, girls everywhere were allowed to participate in athletics.
Well, it changed the complexion of things, and of course, it forced almost larger schools which were not participating in girls' basketball and other sports. I know my own high school, Roosevelt, finally got with it. They just couldn't put it together before, but once Title IX was adopted, why, they had no choice. They had to do something to make sure that girls had equal and fair opportunities with boys.
I looked at Mom and I was like, Title IX, what is that? And they were like, equality of women. And I'm like, I never knew there was an equality of women. Women were lifted up, young girls were lifted up, and we were lifted up in a way, it wasn't exploitation. We were lifted up to be role models for future young women, strong women.
Ironically, Title IX would ultimately bring about the demise of 6-on-6 basketball in Iowa. In 1983, 3 high school girls filed a lawsuit against the Girls Athletic Union claiming 6-on-6 was not equal to the boys' 5-on-5 game. In what many consider an ingenious move, the Girls Athletic Union and its board of directors decided to offer both options, allowing schools to decide which game their female athletes would play. In 1985, the first 5-on-5 state championship was held, along with a separate tournament for the 6-player games. For a few seasons, 6-on-6 girls basketball continued strong, while the 5-player game was played to smaller crowds. Eventually, though, there began to be a shift. More schools were choosing 5-on-5 as girls felt their chances for playing college ball would be greater. Finally, in 1993, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union voted unanimously to end 6-on-6 once and for all.
We did not make the change because of pressure from the media, not because of coaches, not from superintendents or principals of high schools, not because of the general public pressure. The pressure that we could not handle came from the girls themselves, the high school students that were playing basketball at that time.